The community's apathetic. Can Scopely make them care again? Is Deathpool OP? Will the next update be good or bad? All this and more on your Marvel Strike Force news update. Valley, tell them what to do.
Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hi, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel and your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. This week, I am joined by my brother, MrHartgrave. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
I am as well. But what if things were different? What if you were sitting here and I was sitting there? It'd be strange. It would be very, very strange. I don't know what I would do. So, hey, before we begin, let's get this fist bump going. We've been trying this for a while. It's been looking weird. Oh, the undead fist bump, baby. Yes. All right. So we got a lot to discuss. The community seems apathetic, seems to be going away. A few different reasons. We'll discuss that. Also, Deathpool looks to be the new flavor, the new hot character. We'll definitely discuss her, and this update is coming soon. 4 new characters, everything else. But MrHartgrave, I got a question for you later. Is this going to be a good update or a bad one? But before we get to that, I do have a question for you. I've asked every guest, and since this is your first time on the news with me, I got to ask you, I know it's not Christmas, but do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie or is not a Christmas movie?
Well, to be a Christmas movie, it has to have Christmas themes. And I do believe it does have a redemption theme, yes. So yes, it is a Christmas movie.
Yes, the Valley Club is going to love you, MrHartgrave. All right, fist bump. The undead fist bump. One more question before we get to the news, because the Valley Club has informed me of some very disturbing things. As you've had a beef going on with one of the community managers. I heard Zemo is very upset with you, or you're upset with him. Something's going on. Can you explain? Is there some animosity between Hartgrave and Zemo going on right now?
Yeah, there is a bit of a thing going on. I had him on recently to do an interview. That'll be on my channel soon. Make sure you go and check it out and subscribe. There is a wrestling match that was thrown down at 10,000 subscribers. I've challenged him to a wrestling match.
That should be fun. That should be fun. And that should dispel any dirty rumors that people are saying. It's not me that's saying this. I know some of the community is saying that you might be Zemo. So hopefully this wrestling match will put those rumors to bed. But all right, let's begin with some Marvel Strike Force. I know you've been waiting to talk about this. Community apathetic, less interested in Marvel Strike Force. A few different reasons for that. One of it, obviously, the state of the game. We haven't had any new content for a while, and when there's not a lot of new content to play, gets a little boring. Fortunately, we do have a new game mode coming. Unfortunately, it's not for a few more months. So there's that. So that is the first thing. Second thing is summer. Games normally drop off during the summer. Last year, a little different because of COVID and lockdown, but something normally happens during the summer. The numbers just drop, and then also Marvel Future Revolution. So all of that combined, plus maybe some other factors, people going back to work and things, communities doesn't seem as interested in the game as possible. So with all those different factors and different things for the competing with the interests of players, is there a way that Scopely can bring the interest back to players? I mean, do you think they went far enough with your roadmap? Is this game ever going to be the same? What are your thoughts on the state of the game right now?
The game is broken. There's a few major ways that the game is not working properly, even just from a basic game mechanics standpoint. Like, let's put aside manipulative mobile game practices. But just there's a few basic things that should be adjusted. Now's a great time for it. When there's nothing happening, now would be a really good time for them to make a few changes that have been long overdue. On my Discord, yes, I have a section where right now we have a bunch of issues that we've laid out that people are reacting to. And then you're actually going to help us out and bring that over to Cerebro so that it goes in front of him. Because as I understand, if something has enough community reactions on it, he will take that to the developers and ask them, is this working as intended? And if it isn't, get it fixed.
Hopefully that's the plan. What in your opinion needs to be done to fix Marvel Strike Force, or is it beyond repair? You said the game is broken. Is it beyond repair?
There is a lot. So that's what the problem's been before, is that we asked too much. I think we asked too much.
Save MSF, fix MSF had a lot of demands, and even when Scopely was responding to stuff, it was very hard to meet all of those demands. So I like what you're saying. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, keep it really, really simple. So, but we need an ongoing process.
Yes.
Fix one thing every week, every month.
I'd like that.
Make it known, make it a part of the blog. Here's what we're fixing because of community request this week. And then I think a lot of the outrage, I'm one of the most angriest guys out. If you go to my channel, you'll know.
It's the angry channel.
It's very angry. But if they're fixing something every week and they're listening to us, how mad can we be at that point? I would be irrational to be as mad as I am.
Yeah, I do feel like, based on some of the stuff I saw in the blog post and some of the things they're doing, they are listening. It's just very slow, you know? Instead of reacting like, oh, yes, we saw this yesterday, we're gonna fix it. It's like 2 months later. Oh, we noticed this a few months ago. We're gonna fix this now. So they're listening. It just seems very slow. Another fracture of the community, I think, came from tying alliance content, that you're doing with your alliance, to some of the personal content you're doing on a personal basis. I think that started all the way back with the Greek raids, tying that no heals to that. So you're starting to see some fracture of alliances there. Silver Surfer milestones, that obviously was a lot harder. And now, oh, look at that Hydra Cup. And now it looks like they're tying Dark Dimension 5 to this as well. What do you see do you see this trend as tying alliance content to personal content as something that can go away? Is there any devil's advocate, any positivity coming from this, or is it all just negative and trying to get us to tie more with our alliance and get that fear of missing out even more?
They may be overestimating the average alliance. I am very happy with my alliance.
Okay.
They do very well, so I don't really feel this. But I'm in the top 20 when it comes to alliances. I'm a leader and captain, so I have a lot of control. Those players that do not are going to feel this more. And one thing that they could do to make this better for everybody is to give more information in the blog that is meaningful to leaders and captains so that they can plan accordingly and take care of their alliance.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things in their early 2021 roadmap that they said they wanted to do. They said they want to give more tools for alliance leaders, alliance captains. I'm not in that role, so I'm not sure exactly what was added, if anything got added. What changes were made since that early 2021 blog post where they said they're going to add more features for alliance leaders and captains? I see your laugh. I guess exactly what I thought. Not much. Zero. Okay.
All right. I'm going to tell you this. In the roadmap, they had one piece of information.
The first one or the second one? The first or the second one?
What's that?
The first roadmap, or the one that just was released a few weeks ago?
The newest roadmap.
The newest one. Okay.
Information for leaders and captains. And that is that grade 2 would be locked behind blue ISO. But even that, they failed to tell us what level of blue ISO we will need. 1, 2, or 3.
I honestly, I think they're still deciding. I don't think they know that yet.
They need to decide and let us know so that we can plan, or else you're going to have fractured alliances.
Yeah, I think the planning is important, and I think that comes back to the delays. Instead of announcing all this stuff finished, this is what it's going to be. They're announcing a lot of stuff in the works, and it's making people fearful because they don't know what the outcome is. It may be as bad as everybody's thinking, but it may not be. And if it's not there, I think that is something that they should share with the community.
I'm hesitant because green ISO requirements were as bad as it seemed. Worse.
Yeah.
So I think the healthy assumption is that you will need blue ISO level 3 to do the Doom Raid 2. Which is going to be very hard for alliances who are not even in the Doom Raid right now.
All right, we'll come back to this because I agree with you. I think Unfortunately, maybe I wait level 3, but hopefully they make it a little more farmable, because that whole entire ISO 8 blue system is still screwed up, and that's going to make it. You can't really control what you do. You can't really control which characters. You can't control which pieces you get. That whole system is screwed up. And if they're tying alliance content and personal content behind this bottleneck of RNG, it could not be good. But let's move on. I don't want to do too negative too much. I think we know where the game is. I think it can be fixed. The question is, will Scopely, are they willing to fix this? But let's go to something positive, or let me rephrase something I think is positive. Talking before with you, I guess you're not too excited about this, but the Gamora Daredevil costume event is coming to wrap. I thought this was a very positive event. They made some stealth changes to up the maximum that we can, so some positives that they didn't even talk about there. But we got more than enough bits for both of these costumes. The previous event that we had, I think the past one, we had to choose one of 3 with a Thor, Vision, or Scarlet Witch. So I like that they gave both. You're getting this 5-star. I don't know if you've noticed that we got a full Elite 5 here. That is worth like $800 in Scopely math. So how could you not be happy with that? I see the smile on your face now. So I thought this was a good event, but why did you not like this event?
An event. There's nothing to it. You don't use anything different. It's basically just a calendar. It's a glorified login calendar.
I see that as a positive, though. Honestly, you're not having to grind out Blitz. You're not having to grind out extra real-time arena to get this extra stuff. Just your normal daily stuff. It is kind of an extension of a daily objective type of stuff, and you're just getting all this stuff for free. I think that's a positive, but I guess perception is reality. If you don't like that, that's.
I think the event should be eventful and fun. That's never happened, so we're settling for this, which is good.
Settling is a very key word.
We're settling. The fact that we're calling this good, there's something wrong with events.
All right. Maybe the perception is that instead of having fun, we got this, and instead of having something bad in the game, this is something that's not negative. So I'm happy with it, but maybe I need to raise my standards a little more. Maybe I'm playing Strike Force. The settling. I think that illustrates how low my standards were. Let's move on to something that I know you are happy with. Let's try to get this a little more positive. I knew this would be a little controversial because you told me beforehand, but this is something you told me beforehand. You love Deathpool.
I do. I think it's amazing.
My goodness. She looks so overpowered. She's getting an instant kill pretty much every 5 times you use this ultimate. Actually, a little less because you're getting a charge every time you respawn. So give me your thoughts on Deathpool. Take it away, brother.
The death status effect is the most overpowered status effect in the game. It's better than stun or blind or ability block, any of that. The death status effect, I've been saying this for since I came out here, is amazing. So the fact that she has the ability to put that death status effect on, what's not to love?
Am I reading this wrong? I thought it's just a big attack that if she's charged. Is it actually a status effect, or is it just a big effect that pretty much kills somebody?
That's the death status effect. It kills them dead, no matter what.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I was interpreting a little differently. So how valuable do you think she's gonna be? She's Mystic, she's Brawler, she's Cosmic. Where do you see her helping you the most on your roster? What part of your roster, what hole in your roster is she gonna fill?
She'll fill that hole that Kestrel left, where you don't have any characters that look cool. So we'll have a character now that looks cool that I'll enjoy having in my roster because I like the character design.
Yes. Now she's very strong. She's very strong. That's why you like. Do you think she's too strong? Is she too overpowered for this game? That was because that was some of the complaints with Silver Surfer. Too strong. Kestrel too strong. She looks very strong. Is this more power leaping that we're having to go through in Marvel Strike Force?
Yeah, that's the state of the game. I mean, every new character is going to be massively overpowered. Silver Surfer's already power prepped out, so it's no big deal.
Okay, well, this is the new raid character here, and filling that good-looking role that Kestrel, the void that Kestrel left. All right, but let me talk about the stats, because Not just that crazy death move, not just the kit. Look at these base stats for this striker here. Look at this. Health, 548,000. Damage, 34,000. You serious? Is this some kind of bug, or do you think this is actual stats in the game? Let's look at this screenshot as well. 4 red star, 7 gold star, 120K.
Of course, the ISO isn't applied on this screen. I mean, when it's Scopely numbers, take it with a grain of salt. But I do expect her stats to be very good.
Do you expect it to be this good, or do you think this is just something that they showed for the video?
I don't really have a lot of faith in them, but most new characters are seriously power crept, so problems.
All right. Well, I guess we will find out exactly next week when we can see the data mines in MSF.gg. Now, we did see some stats. That is what I'm talking. We saw some stats. I don't know if they're real because this character is so strong in the game. I have not put enough resources because I did not want to break the game.
You're gonna tell people
277K power. America Chavez. Do you think it's time that America Chavez gets nerfed?
Yeah, you gotta nerf this, man. It's out of control. Like one of the few old meta characters that is still relevant today and has been since day one.
Jeez, my goodness. I mean, when are they gonna nerf her? This is such a strong character, viable in every single game mode.
OP.
What were they thinking building this character? I mean, we need to nerf her. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you think it's time to nerf her. Yes. And
you don't even need stars on her. You don't need to T-port any abilities. You don't need her past gear 12. She works even at very low levels. You can put her with Infinity Watch on arena defense, and she holds.
All right, so new players, you heard that, right? You don't even need to spend any resources. You just have her on your roster, and she's gonna empower your entire team. That's how good she is. If you're a new player, don't spend too much resource on her, though.
Even when she's still locked, she still gives a benefit to your roster. She's that good.
Oh, so they don't even need to unlock her. Just have her in the game and she'll just, oh my goodness. How overpowered is that, guys? I don't think there's any character like this except for America Chavez. So let's move on. We were talking about this a little bit. The update, that is coming very, very soon. 4 new playable characters. I think we know most of them. We've had Deathpool announced. We've had Cloak and Dagger rumored.
Yeah, there's no 4th character. No, there isn't.
You mean that gold one in the middle that they haven't announced? That's not coming to the game.
If it doesn't matter. It's not a character anyone should build for any reason. So
so the exact opposite of America Chavez for that character.
Yeah. Excited as I am about Deathpool, I'm the inverse for whatever the 4th character is. It doesn't even matter on.
All right, so I guess Deathpool and this gold character in the middle kind of balance each other out. And so I guess the update, these characters is gonna depend on these last two. Do you think it's Cloak and Dagger like the rumors are suggesting? Yeah. Cerebral did have a Cloak and Dagger comic in the last episode of Strike Time.
Yeah, that sounds good and that's useful. Not as excited. I think Deathpool actually outweighs the 4th character because I actually like characters that aren't any good because I can ignore them and then use my resources elsewhere.
Okay, but I think there's going to be, based on some Russian data mines that we saw earlier last week, it looks like these are going to be combined. You're going to need them with Deathpool. They look like they're going to be part of these new warriors. So if the rumor is true, if these are Cloak and Dagger, if they are part of this new warrior team, I think you're going to have to go build the full team for your favorite new character because she looks so cool.
Cloak, Dagger, Deathpool, Silver Surfer, and Adam Warlock will be your new Mystic Raid team.
Nice. I like it. What else is coming? We got some new costumes coming to the game as well. We've seen a preview of 2 of them. This Absolute Carnage. Is this Absolute Carnage or Maximum Carnage? Remenek said both to me in last week's video.
I looked into this because what I was curious about is they've never released a costume that is actually a different character. So is it Carnage? I forget his real name right now. It's escaping me. Cletus Cassidy. Or is it another character? And if you look into like the Maximum Carnage or Absolute Carnage storyline, it's impossible to really decipher for me at least. Right. I don't know. Setting a new.
All right, but not a new character. Looks like to be costume and the Taskmaster costume as well. We also know about
spoilers, but that is a different character.
Yes, not. I don't want to go too much into spoilers in case anybody hasn't seen the movie, but yes, this is an interesting character as well. Do you like the look of these two characters?
I don't
what they would do.
All right, what I don't like here is with Absolute Carnage, and now for sure with Taskmaster, we have taken a different character than the base character and applied a costume to it. So instead of giving us a new character, they are giving us a cosmetic to stand in for that.
Is that a bad thing though?
I think it's going to upset comic purists.
Some players is that a bad thing for gameplay though, and organization of your roster?
It doesn't matter at all.
All right, back to this screen then. We also got save squad tabs, auto basic button. I'm going to go into more detail later because I think those quality of life changes are very, very good. But before we get to those quality of life changes, how whaley do you think this next patch is going to be based on some of the stuff we saw on this roadmap? Do you think this is going to be a very whaley that you're going to have to spend a lot of money? These three characters on paper look very good to me, these new warriors. That third one, that is rumored to be Shang-Chi, war defense, I don't know, but those other three, the new warriors look pretty good. How whaley do you think this patch is going to be? And if their kits are like the data might suggest, is that something you're going to wail on?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't wail on
only Deathpool.
Anything. I won't wail on that either. I'll spend 600 hours a day on the campaign. But that's from like
you could get an easy 7-star for that.
Oh my God.
Deathpool is a campaign release character, so yes, easy 6 or 7-star, brother. You gotta love that.
You know, it's actually 20,000 cores to get a 6.
Fast, super easy. What is that? Like $800? I don't know how much that is, but just whale it, and you got it. It's easy.
Oh my God. Well, here's the good news though. Since all the new characters are so power crept and power leapt, they're useful at even 2 stars.
Oh yeah, we will talk about that with some of the newer characters, but let's go back to this. I want to talk about these quality of life changes. We've been waiting for so long for the auto basic button. I think I'm looking forward to this more than anything. You're not looking forward to auto basic? My goodness. What?
It's too late.
Well, yes, it should have been done 3.5 years ago when the game launched, but I'm glad we're finally getting this. I'm finally glad we're getting save squad tabs. Yeah, what are your thoughts on these quality of life changes finally getting added to the game, make it a little easier for us to navigate this game?
All right, let me tell you about auto basic and why it's too late. Look at a new character like Sam Cap. All of his ability cooldowns are super short, and he has an ability that gives out energy. I don't need auto basic for that team. I needed auto basic for like Black Order. Black Order's dead now. I don't need auto basic anymore.
I still need auto basic. The Greeks are pretty easy. And my alliance, we just moved from Doom 1.0 where auto basic would have been very, very valuable. We're up to 1.1, and I think down the road, auto basic will make it easier. But right now, it's tough. I'm looking forward. I think this is going to save me a lot of time in the raids, but
yeah.
Symbiotes need this, and symbiotes are kind of falling out of the meta. The Axemen don't; they're still in the meta. The teams that need this, hopefully, it will benefit. But I'm still, even if it's late, I'm happy that it's coming. What else? We talked about the costumes. Let's talk about the Payday. We have a Payday increase that's coming as well. This actually, it just happened. The Payday update. I don't know if you noticed, but this past Payday with the Mercs, a lot more gold. Did this and first time rewards, all that stuff, did this make a big difference in your roster having this extra gold? I take that silence as a no.
No, I haven't used gold for at least a year now. I stick to spending 1 million a day, and because of that, I have like 400 gold orbs banked.
Okay, but there are a lot of complaints for gold. Are there people in your community or other members in your alliance clustered that this benefited? Because personally, I have a surplus of gold, so this doesn't benefit. But I know this is a major bottleneck for a lot of the community. So what is the response from the community with this? Is it generally positive? Not enough? What is the reaction?
What was good about it is that the first time rewards went up, I believe, drastically. So it helped new players catch up, which is great.
That's always good.
And the problem with gold right now, and while I do have a surplus and I don't really need it, spending gold in the game is not fun. Spending 1 million a day is not fun. They should fix the economy at this point to adjust for inflation so that you can spend 2 million a day and be reasonable.
So those are more about the milestones though, instead of the payday. That was a couple weeks ago.
It's overall gold economy.
They could, all right, yeah. The economy could be adjusted. I think the milestones where they place could be changed a little bit. So I'll be more comfortable spending 1.5 instead of 1 or something like that. Up it a little, but I think this generally, the payday itself generally positive. The milestones, yeah, question. But anytime they're giving more resources and not just giving it out to the community, I think that's a good thing. It helps ease up some bottlenecks.
Take this though. This is part of the overall increase.
Yes, this is part of that eight. Was it 8 or 9 million that they said? Whatever million that they said per month is this was part of it. Yes.
Yeah. And that's not like 8 million more. I believe that's 8 million total.
No, I think it is. I believe the past blog said is more.
I don't know.
I don't have a queue. So it's
total, and then what you basically get a day is 1.25 million instead of 1 million.
I guess I'm not calculating those numbers in my head, so whatever. If that makes sense, yeah.
It came out what it was.
Well, yeah. What would you like to see done with this? Would you like to see it done even more? I know you're good on gold, but what do you think the new and mid players need as far as gold? And guys, feel free to let us know in the comments what is the good amount where based on where you are in the game.
2 million per day. We should make it so that you can comfortably spend 2 million per day and still progress and make that worth your while.
Okay. That wouldn't be that bad. Eliminating that gold bottleneck, make it more focused on the gear, make it focus on the train. I wanted to eliminate the training mats, but yeah, the more bottlenecks they can eliminate, the higher they could resources they could give us, I think is good. Yes.
Think about how resource starved a new player is going to be with level 85, and how hard it is going to be for veteran players to even take their roster from 80 to 85.
For me, it wouldn't be the gold. It would be the training mat shortage that would limit me, not gold. But and everybody's got different bottlenecks, and I think it depends on how you play the game. The people that don't spend a lot in the supply section, like myself, will have a little extra gold and not as many training mats. The people that are buying all that stuff and not leveling up the characters, then they're probably gonna have more training mats and less gold. So I think there's an inverse relationship, and I think a lot of it has to do with Dark Dimension, because you're not buying a lot of gear if you're already done with Dark Dimension 4. If you're before that and you're trying to get into any of the Dark Dimensions, you're probably buying a little more gold. So I think that's where some of the bottleneck comes from, and I think that comes more from gear availability than the gold. But let me know if you guys are doing something different and you're just getting that bottleneck just from leveling up characters, not purchasing anything in the supply store. Let me know in the comments. Quick PSA: the Milestone Orb is finally going away. And I gotta say, I like this. This is not like they have with the raid season milestones. They're giving us some time to open the stuff before it goes away. I still don't know why they haven't fixed the raid season milestone yet. That's been complained ever since they switched that with Silver Surfer. But this is going away. So open this, guys. Any milestone orbs? I don't think they're still giving out shards of this, are they?
No, I think the old milestone orb shards are gone. Ability orb shards were given out for a little bit.
They're also leaving, and they may or may not still be in the new milestone orb. I know at one point they were. I think they fixed that though, but these are running out as well. So if you have any of these old milestone orbs or ability orbs, make sure you open them, because as soon as the update drops, it looks like it is leaving, and that update looks to be dropping next week. So don't miss out, guys. Get your resources. Don't forget, do it now so you don't have any issues next week. All right, let's go to a more controversial topic. One of my favorite game modes, Real-Time Arena. How much fun are you having with Real-Time Arena this week? 2 matches a day. This week. How much fun are you having in Real-Time Arena?
This week is great.
I love it. 2 matches, auto, and then done. I don't have to spend half an hour. All right, so we're getting some changes to Real-Time Arena, though, starting on the 13th, which which is a little weird because they say that in the blog, in the in-game message, they say that there's also changes coming in the next update. And I'm not sure if they're counting this, something that drops before the update dropped, or if there's going to be more changes coming to Real-Time Arena. But what they're doing this season, which is on the 13th, this Friday, they're going to remove daily and weekly objectives, focus more on KOs. Sounds good. And then the ban system. They're not just going to ban a few things. They're going to ban roles, protector, brawler, blaster, controller, support, and origins, bio, mystic, mutant, tech, and skill. The new character is going to be Moon Knight. I don't know. Real-Time Arena is so broken. Could this possibly be a solution? You know, so if you eliminate all the protectors and all the bio, you're going to have some weird teams there. Is this what it needs to get this mode going, or is this another thing that looks good on paper? And I don't know if this one looks good on paper. I thought a lot of the previous one looked good on paper, but do you think this is something that might look good on paper for some people, and then when it's implemented again, be, this is even worse again?
Yeah, it's not good. It'll be fine for like me and you, I think, who have big rosters. But for a player that does not have big rosters, if you ban the wrong trait, you're not even going to have anything you can use. Now, if matchmaking's on point, it'll be fine. But even matchmaking,
MrHartgrave, you are funny, man.
Is the problem. If you don't have matchmaking fixed before you do this, not good.
Now you said it probably will be okay for you and me. What does that mean? Does okay mean fun? Do you think this will be fun with these new roles and these new bands and having to get these weird teams, or it's just not going to be as painful, not as grindy as we try to get through these objectives?
I see it being the same thing. If anything, it'll take longer. I can't see it taking less time. Who knows? That's yet to be seen whether it'll take more or less time, but it doesn't seem like something on paper that would take less time. It seems like more.
Yeah. I hope this is one of these that is reversed. A lot of times they look good on paper and it wasn't that good. Hopefully this is something that it looks questionable on paper and then it looks really, really good. I don't know. But that is it. Let's talk about the Secret Avengers though. You had some really good screenshots as you sent me. This is your Secret Avengers right now. How are these guys fitting into current meta for you? And you got a very low Sam right here. You got a very low Maria. And what are you in? Doom 1.1?
Yeah, 1.1.
And this is a viable team in 1.1.
This is the best team in 1.1. This is the only team.
All right. I was giving this team a lot of crap because I was in 1.0. Very, very easy. I'm in 1.1. We started earlier this week. Not as easy. So are you saying that this 2 gold star, 2 red star Sam, because he only has the 2 gold stars and these other red stars don't matter until he gets the gold stars, is better than my maxed out 7 red full gear red guardian? Is that what you're saying? This Captain Sam at 60k is better than my whatever my red guardian is at?
Yeah, 1000%.
Especially that hurts.
Yeah, it sucks.
Das Vidanya. All right, so this is another screenshot.
Yep, this is what they did on the boss.
Are you autoing the boss with that team that we just saw?
Yeah.
Craziness. All right, and we'll talk about that later. But all right, so how do you think they're fitting into the current raids, into the current meta? Obviously, good in Doom. Are you using these guys into alpha raids right now as well?
I mainly have the Cosmic lane, but on the global nodes, yeah, they run it just fine.
Smash. This team exactly right here.
Yep.
All right, I may have to invest a little bit more into my Secret Avengers based on what you're seeing. I was worried because I didn't have a lot of stars on them, but
this is not money. I've only spent $20 on this per Sam for the strike pass.
Nice. All right. Maybe if there's more positive things, I might get this strike pass, get a little more shards for Captain Sam. I don't know. Maybe.
It's going to be really hard to get stars on. It's one of our top problems right now on my server that we're trying to get looked at, is the strike pass does not give enough character shards. Even if you buy it, at the end of the day, if I buy both strike passes, I'm only going to max out with 4 stars on him.
I mean, let's be frank. Strike Pass is the worst release method in all of Marvel Strike Force ever. It's so stupid.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Hopefully,
if they just doubled it, it would still be horrible, but I wouldn't be as mad.
It wouldn't be as bad. It actually would be decent if they doubled the shards that you get for him. That's 200 shards for $20 plus all those cores. I don't think that's a great deal. But as a release method though, little questionable. But as far as bargain for your money, based on some of the other offers that Scopely's put out, it's very good offer based on the Scopely math. All right, I teased this a little bit, but this is a little strange. People were questioning this. I didn't know what this was for. We got compensation 8-6 a few days ago. What was this for? Well, I guess we had some downtime. We had server reset. The game was down for about 15 minutes. Is last week or 2 weeks ago. I didn't notice it because I was not on a server reset. I guess the game came up quickly after that, but that's what this is for. This is very similar to the kind of compensation we get for when the game goes down for a normal update. So that's what this is for. But MrHartgrave, there's still one missing. Maria Hill. A few weeks ago when Maria Hill was released in the game, or not even released, she was available in a supply store. She had a red star offer, not advertised. It went live. Some people saw this. They started pulling red stars for Maria Hill, and then it just shut down. So it came up with no notice, went down with no notice. They said that was an issue. That was a mistake. They're going to send out compensation. When do you expect to see compensation for the Maria Hill debacle?
I don't know. I actually have a separate issue. I did kind of the inverse.
Oh, what is a separate issue? There's what else do we need compensation for?
Yeah, when she came out, they didn't re-trigger the 10 times dark credits. So as you know, I prefer dark credits when I pull basic orbs.
Yeah, last week on her blitz, yes. So couple things going on with Maria Hill, and hopefully they'll combine all that compensation so we don't have to worry about it. Do you think they're going to give us two separate pieces and we'll just get an inbox message like this with no explanation? People would be very confused. What was this for? What mistake was this for? I lost track of them. What is this compensation for? This
is they really need a section of the blog where they announce stuff like this and talk about it openly. And I think that's going to help some of the apathy that is in the game right now.
Why even go through the trouble of blog? Why not just send out a tweet? Or put it on Reddit. Even simpler, less work for Scopely. I don't want them to have to go through all their stakeholders and get a blog approved by all these people. Just put something out on Reddit. Say, there was an issue a few weeks ago with this, and we send out compensation today. How simple is that? Couple seconds, right?
Maybe stop having a blog that has to be run by the stakeholders. Maybe have
Sounds easier than done, my friend. It seems like they have to go through the stakeholders for everything.
All right,
but moving on.
Outside regulation, right?
Oh, yes. I think there's been chatter about that. The Valley Club was chatting about that this morning. Let's talk about this. We're back here. We're back to the roadmap here. The player's journey. I think one of the most controversial things in this, we talked about it before, is tying rewards that you're doing with your alliance to single player content like Doom Raids. You got to get into Doom Raid 2, which is very hard. Just to get into there, you're going to need the teal ISO 8, or you're going to need the ISO 8, the blue ISO 8 on your characters in order to get the teal gear. And that teal gear gets you into Dark Dimension. So how much of a problem do you think this is going to be, splitting alliances? And can Scopely go back on some of these things to make it a little more player friendly? Because honestly, I think it was revealed last week in that Cerebro interview that they don't play the game as we do. They play it a lot less. They play it a lot more casually, which is fine if they know what our pain points are and what this kind of ramification, or what the ramifications of something like this will be. So I think what they wanted from this, they wanted alliances to be more tied together, to get that fear of missing out. I don't think that they expected that this kind of stuff would be splitting up alliances. I don't think they've thought that. So what do you think they could do to fix this and make it so that alliances are not splitting up over this?
Clear communication is really going to help. So yeah, what they're doing now with like this very vague communication is what is causing all the turmoil. I'm not feeling this dramatic about it because if you recall, Tier 15s were tied to Alliance participation as well, in a different way. Most of the events that they would run where you would get a bulk of your Tier 15 materials were Alliance-wide events that did rely upon you raiding.
Okay.
So they are just making it kind of more direct. The raid itself will give you the Tier 16s, but it kind of has always been a thing.
Now, one of the lines that I was, as soon as this blog post came out, I was focused on, this will be one of the primary ways to earn your Tier 16. Do you think that this will be the only way? Oh, so either spend or do the raids with your lines.
Yeah. I mean, no one's buying the real-time arena pass anymore. Like literally no one is buying that. So they're going to put Tier 16s in there, and then people are going to buy it again if they want to get into Dark Dimension 5 fast, which I would highly recommend against. Against.
All right. Dormammu not appealing to you? Is it the reward? What do you think Dormammu is going to do? Why would you recommend against that?
It won't be worth it. There's no planet where it'll be worth it. Dark Dimension's never been worth it.
So are you saying don't go fast from a spending perspective or like a grinding perspective? Because I'm willing to grind as much as I can. I don't know how much I want to spend on this. I want to see some a few more changes in communication, bugs, and things before I start spending money a lot again.
Here's the problem. And yeah, you just don't want to go and Tier 16 all of your current characters when this gets dropped. Like, absolutely not. For every Dark Dimension, and correct me if you have a different experience, but halfway through Dark Dimension, they drop about 6 better Dark Dimension characters.
Yes. Minerva came out after a lot of people had already finished Dark Dimension 2, or not a lot, but that initial wave finished Dark Dimension 2. There was probably some character in Dark Dimension 3 and then Silver Surfer for Dark Dimension 4. I mean, just it makes it, and Kestrel for Dark Dimension 4 as well. So
Dark Dimension is so much more fun when you use the characters on it instead of what you just happen to have playing around.
Except for Dark Dimension 3, that just sucks anyway. But
well, yeah, but it's better now.
Moving on from that. It is because we got Ghost, we got some of these other characters that came around later. So yeah, all right.
So from the perspective of fun, which is number one, I watched your beginner's guide. Your number one tip is to have fun.
Fun. Yes, that is the number one tip. It's a game. Let's not forget that.
Fun.
We make it serious because I still have fun debating this, whether Scopely's doing good or bad. I still have fun making content. But yeah, the game itself should be fun. And yeah.
Pushing into Dark Dimension has never been fun. It's always been just awful.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fun when you're like, oh, this is nobody else is doing this. I mean, I probably was like 1,000, so maybe there's 1,000 people before me, but not a lot other than that in there. So, and then figuring it out.
That's like your ego, right? I mean, like the mechanic.
Yeah. But as far as the actual Dark Dimension, the puzzle, solving the puzzle, sometimes you don't have the right solutions and it's just as painful. But if you have the solution and you're figuring a puzzle and you got to do this exactly right, and if you screw up once, then it does. I like that kind of stuff. I like figuring stuff out.
Tell me this: what was the solution to beating Emma in Dark Dimension 4 with only like 3 symbiotes?
I don't know. I had 4 or 5 when I first went in because it took me so long to get those cosmic characters. So I didn't go in with 3.
My solution, because I had 3 symbiotes and nightmares, was to set the game on auto and then set it aside and go to sleep.
I heard that. I heard that from people. But you know what actually worked a little better? Taking Raider off of Symbiote Spider-Man, putting Skirmisher on him, giving him the extra focus so he could actually stun Emma sometimes and put defense down on her sometimes. That was a solution for me, and I didn't have to put it on auto. But that kind of weird things like that, I like that kind of stuff. Who would have thought Skirmisher on Symbiote Spider-Man would be the way to go? But
well, who would have thought that Raider is a dead class altogether, and that Skirmisher and Striker are the only 2 classes to use at all right now?
Not I, my friend. All right, let's move on. We got another big thing, and we haven't talked too much about this because unfortunately, it looks like it's not coming this year. This looks like it's a lot of fun, but we're gonna have to wait till next year, and that is this thing called Grand Tournament. Looks to be very similar to Grand Arena in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That game mode came out after I stopped playing, so I'm not super familiar with that game mode, other than the comments from people saying how fun it is and how good it is for content and all that cool stuff. It's a way to use your roster. So how familiar with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena are you? And if not, what zero? Okay, so you're kind of like myself. What I know, you now know. What are your expectations for this game mode? How fun do you think it's going to be? And do you think this will turn things around finally in Marvel Strike Force?
For some people, sure. I'm disappointed that it's another fake player versus player mode. I think it's going to be a way to drive up people to spend to do well at it. I will be looking at it very critically, much more critically than like I looked at War when it first came out. Because I found that at this point, it's not worth it to spend on War at all. So I'm going to be very critical of the reward structure and how much it's going to take to build as opposed to what you get out of it. Because right now, if that equation's off like it is for War, I won't really be participating.
Well, what they did with War eventually was the winner rewards are very similar to the loser rewards. So it's not that much of a consequence if you're winning or losing. It's those season milestones that are more important than the actual win or loss. So if they did something like that it's you could have fun with this, and it's not if you don't want to play this, you have the time, you're still gonna get good rewards just by entering this. I think that'd be cool. Give us some cool rewards. But I think PvP content is where they need to go with this game. I think that the matchmaking was horrible in War, but if you look at it from PvE versus PvP, PvE, we go through that very quickly. And unless we're getting more content like we are lack of right now, there's not a lot of stuff to do. The only thing that's keeping a lot of longtime players is this PvP content, like War, like Arena, like things like this. Raids is fun, but once you're autoing the hardest raid possible, you need more PvE content. So if you have PvE content, there's a constant need for that. If you have PvP content, you could kind of be lacking that a little bit because you're competing against players. Does that make sense?
It comes down to matchmaking at that point, which they
it does. It does. All right. And I guess that's it for Strike Force, but I did want to talk about this What If series that's debuting tonight. Now, I have not seen it. I've purposely tried to avoid spoilers or anything like that. Have you seen this series so far? Have you seen the first episode?
No, I'm very excited. I didn't even know.
Okay, so this will be spoiler free then. You are very familiar with the comics though, right? You said that was one of your favorite. What was so enjoyable about that comic series?
Well, you as avid comic book reader when I was a kid, you got very familiar with like the origin stories and what the characters were. Mm-hmm. And so I think if people watch my channel, they'll know how much I like parody and satire and kind of like Elseworlds situations. I'm kind of like a Elseworlds content creator. So that angle, seeing a character in a different way from a different angle is very exciting and very fresh storytelling.
I'm looking forward to this. I think they have like some of the scenarios of the first few episodes out there. Tonight's episode, I think, is about Sharon Carter. What are your expectations for this series? Do you think, and I think what they said that this is canon in the MCU because of what happened with the Loki. So that's, I think them bringing not all the actors, but a majority of the real MCU actors back to do the voices for this gives it a little more weight. If it was just some random actors for a majority of the characters that just sound like him, I don't think it would have as much weight. But having the real actors in there, I think it makes the series more important, and stating that everything that happens in this series is going to be canon. How hyped are you right now, especially since it's based on your favorite comic book series?
I'm extremely, I cannot wait to watch it. So yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think you were asking me before we started, like, is there one that I'd want to see?
Oh yes. I think we know some of the first few episodes, but I don't think we know all of them. So are there a few that you would want to see? A few scenarios that you want to see in this? I don't
up on which ones have been announced, but I thought I heard rumors of the one I wanted, which is what if Peter Parker was the Punisher?
That would be cool. I like I said, I've avoided a lot of the spoilers purposefully. Some of them I've seen, like I know what the first episode is, but that would be cool. Is that a real comic that they did?
Yeah, they recently did a new What If series, and that was like issue number 1.
Okay.
And they have a very similar. They're both like vigilantes, so it's just like if Peter Parker went like dark with it, and shot people out of his wrist with webs.
A Homelander or something. All right. Next, the final question about this series, because this is a Marvel Strike Force Weekly News update. What do you think is gonna be? How do you think this series is gonna affect this game?
I don't know. I mean, I think it already has. I think Deathpool is like their what if character.
Okay. And that is canon, they said. So that means that Kestrel's canon, Deathpool is canon. That means that can feature in other games. How funny do you think it would be if Deathpool comes to Marvel Future Revolution?
That's the death knell, right?
All right. With that, let everybody. Wait, before I tell you,
I think
any other final.
It's over.
What is that?
I think if Deadpool goes to Future Revolution, they're going to lose a lot.
Well, Deadpool's kind of in there. He's kind of in there, sort of. Nice. He's in one of the. He's not playable, but he's a non-playable character in the game.
Make Deadpool playable, and this game will be done.
All right. Any final thoughts other than that before we wrap up, brother?
Hey, come check me out on YouTube, MrHartgrave, Twitch
for the craziest streams.
It's nuts.
It is crazy, guys. So if you're looking for
close to 5,000 subscribers, and when we get to 5,000 subscribers, we're gonna have this guy. We're gonna film it today. I'm gonna drop it on YouTube. Hot tub.
Woo! Should be fun. All right, brother. Well, thank you for joining us. The links to your channel, links to your Twitch, anything else you send me, OnlyFans, all that stuff is going to be down below, guys. And thank you, Mr. Hartgrave. Make some very fun videos for the community. And yes, the dead fist bump. Can we get it to line? There it is. We're disappearing. Hog fist bump, ValleyFlyin, and Hartgrave. I will see you guys next time. Check out some of my other videos. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, give it a 5-star review on whatever platform you're on. Check out my social media, and I'll see you guys next time. Now let's go. Hulk fist bump, Hartgrave, and ValleyFlyin. Our fists are disappearing. Out. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great week, guys.
Hail Valley.
Hail Hartgrave. And Loki.
What about Zemo?